Good morning and welcome to Tala Talks, where I share my everyday thoughts and everyday experiences. In today's video, I'm quite excited because aside from being surrounded by nature, I'm gonna talk to you about 3 things that I absolutely love about being a digital nomad. Now, I do have some hesitations with saying the term or the title digital nomad because I wouldn't exactly call myself one. Maybe to say it better, more of an adventure seeker. I'm living on a permanent radical sabbatical, and probably my love for having the freedom of time and space and not being bounded in a cemented concrete corporate world, if that makes sense. So without further ado, let's begin this video. I'm so excited. But first, check this out. It really is for me the simple things of like seeing food fall to the ground. I mean, look how beautiful this is. There are so many mango trees above us. In total, I've probably picked at least 4 mangoes. That's 1 mango tree, 2, 3, 4. Did I say? Well, that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's just, and 5. I mean, I'm not even, and 6. I just find it so incredible how Mother Nature provides, and I do want to start the topic of today's video. I just want to make sure that I get these mangoes before other beautiful living creatures get to it before I do, because yeah, they're looking mighty fine. And you might think that they're small, but when I sliced it, it's actually quite satisfying for 1 serving. So that's gonna go to your girl's belly. I'll be honest, creating the list of the 3 things that I love about my lifestyle right now, and I'm sorry for the dog barking. The dogs should really know me by now. I've been here for almost 2 weeks, but they're very, very good guard dogs anyway. They're trying to protect their home. But it took me, I would say, less than a minute to create the list, just because aside from the 3 things that I'm going to mention, there's just really so many beautiful things about the lifestyle I have right now. First, let me just show you. This is a mango tree, another one, and if you do this to the leaves, see, being a city girl, I never actually thought to do this, but if you squeeze the juices off a mango leaf, wow, it really smells like mango, obviously, but it's oozing with sweetness and citrusy. It's just, it smells beautiful. And actually, my friend told me that if you use in some countries, they use the mango leaves to wrap other vegetables, and they actually eat it. So I had no idea you can actually eat a mango leaf. But let's go settle there. Let me show you the view. It's beautiful. Can you hear the sounds of the birds? It's just absolutely magical here. And the first on my list is I get so much satisfaction from having my curiosity quenched, if that makes sense. In general, I'm the type to really be curious about learning, traveling, experiencing new things, getting to know different people. And so I've always had that sense of curiosity, and the kind of lifestyle that I have right now definitely quenches that zest for just being curious about life in general. Right now we are actually in the, I don't know, I would say this socializing area. There's a huge bar over there, and you can say that once upon a time this place was bustling with so much guests and people. And right straight ahead, you may not see it right now, but that is the sea. We are right in front of the sea. I do wish you guys can see this view. It's really beautiful. The sea is right there, but I'm gonna set you up somewhere comfortably, and I can share with you the 3 things that I love about my current lifestyle right now. Once upon a time, I was actually in a corporate world. I was there for over 10 years, and I always had this itch of thinking, is this it? Is this gonna be my life forever? And you know, that curiosity craving in me just had to break free. And so let's say I would travel for the weekend, and then I would plan another trip, and the weekend became a week, and then eventually that extended to a month. And I just found myself thinking, you know what, I've experienced two different lifestyles. One is being in the corporate world, and another one is just being able to explore and see life beyond the four concrete walls. And so to make the long story short, definitely I always have this high levels of curiosity, and if you have that as well, I say don't be scared to step out of your usual norm or what you're used to every day, because curiosity, you know, this the saying, curiosity kills the cat. I actually don't believe that. I think it just depends how far you take it. If you constantly travel and explore without having the means, I think you do want to plan carefully, right? You want to make sure you're able to eat, you're still healthy in the process. And so in my case, I had a little bit of savings from the corporate world, and I would use that to reinvest in something so that I can constantly feed myself as I'm traveling. So definitely, if you have that hunger for wanting to discover new things, you're probably like me. So that checks the first thing on my list. Is definitely a satisfaction for curiosity, is being able to go beyond what you think is your life already, and knowing that there's so many tunnels or channels for experiencing different types of lifestyles. And then you, at the end of the day, you get to choose what kind of lifestyle you want to settle for. In my case, I think, and maybe because I'm still young, young depends what you call young, but my body feels young and my mind feels young and healthy as well. So I'm at that stage where I gotta go. Like, I gotta go and experience new things and discover new things, and meet people and enjoy the physical world, because, you know, you gotta, oh, check it out, there's a fisherman. You gotta just live it up while you can, because one day these working legs may not be working anymore. Check this out. I love this view. It's just like a random nice gentleman. I guess he just came back from fishing. I don't see any fish on his boat. Maybe that's the yellow plastic there. I don't know if it's a thing of being a millennial, but I tend to get distracted easily. But I think the important thing is always going back to what we were talking about initially. And second on my list is that, and I think I have to say this, if you are the, I know some people don't like the terms introvert, extrovert, ambivert, because we can all be those three things, just depending on the vibe, on the mood, right? But I would say majority of the time, I'm more of an extrovert. And, you know, a lot of things, not just the big things, but small things really excite me. And so if I have the chance to meet somebody and they are willing to chat, or they want to talk, and, you know, there's a nice healthy exchange of energies, I'm all about that. So if you are the extrovert type and you feel like you want to meet new people and make friends, then I think my lifestyle would be similar to yours, or you might want to try doing something similar to what I'm doing. And I have to say, over the years of being I don't want to say being a digital nomad, because I'm not purely that. I'll talk about what a digital nomad is, but you can Google what that is. A lot of the people who call themselves digital nomads are freelancers. Maybe they do graphic designs online, which I don't really. Other people hire them to do IT, which I'm not as well. So I don't know exactly the right term, but yeah, maybe just being an adventure seeker and a freedom seeker as well. But I really enjoy meeting people, and over the past 5 years, or I would say almost 6 years, all the people that I've met, you know, I think the one thing that sums up all of those people into what they have in common is they all just want to be happy. I think, you know, regardless of what their goals are or what their personality types are, at the end of the day, they're constantly searching for something that would make them feel content. Or if they're not searching, they just want to chill out and be happy, you know. And life is super simple like that. Sometimes it can get clouded with all these thoughts of like, what's my purpose in life? What am I meant to do? Am I doing the right thing? You know, it's like self-doubting and all that stuff. But, you know, at the end of the day, if there's something that makes each person happy, then it just seems to make sense. So meeting different people from all walks of life, from different nations, different nationalities, different backgrounds, social statuses and economical backgrounds, you know, it's just very humbling and grounding. And the funny thing is, when we stayed in a somewhat nice resort, it seemed like the rules there were stricter, you know, like borrowing certain things or asking for, let's say, a coffee sachet, a Nescafe one, which is like not as expensive. It's not expensive, right? It's meant to be affordable. Yeah, there was charge and there was just so much, I would say, limitations. So having said that, staying in a nice space, we stayed in a budget place where we got to live with a local Filipino family. And the nice thing about that was that even if this family had less, it was less in terms of financial capabilities, right? It was less fancy, it was more down to earth. The funny thing was they were more generous and more giving, and in fact, when they would have meals, they would even share their food, like, oh, kaon na ta, let's eat already, in Bisaya. In Tagalog, kain na tayo, you know? So you just see that those who are willing to share and those who are more generous sometimes have much less, and those who have more, and perhaps that's the reason why they have more, is because they tend to cling on to it. That's just my personal observation. This is not a reality for all cases, for sure. And it's quite nice. It makes you really think of what kind of person you want to be and how you want to impact not just the environment, but the people that you meet and the rest of the world. So that's one thing that I absolutely love about my lifestyle, is meeting people, getting to really understand them truly, asking questions about them. And then after that is having some self-reflection and to really ask questions, the hard questions even, like what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Where do I need to improve? And when you find that you love yourself and you're happy to be with the kind of person that you are, then you get to share that with everyone else, and you know, it's a win-win situation. People around you are happier as well as you are happier with yourself, if that makes sense. So that's number 2. Try to remember what my number 3 is. Let me just check my notes. By the way, I have to say that if you plan on sitting in this particular area or in an environment like this, it does help to have some wind, because you know it's part of Mother Nature. You will not avoid flies, mosquitoes. They're always gonna be there. And you know, I find it a bit silly sometimes when people want to stay in al fresco areas, like in restaurants where it's open air, and then they complain about flies and mosquitoes, which, you know, come on, like, you get the nature. It's not always gonna be rainbows and candies. There, with nature comes with insects, and that's what makes a balanced ecosystem. You need to have insects, and not that I'm saying I love flies and mosquitoes, but they will be there, and it's just part of it. You really can't do anything about it, and you can't complain about it, because that's Mother Nature. The other day, a snake fell onto my friend's husband. Oh my gosh, right? Like, you know, he opened the door and the snake fell onto his head. But you know, it's a garden snake. Again, these snakes are not bad. They're actually really great for the ecosystem. So, you know, as much as possible, if you can, don't kill them, because they're not really there to harm you. In fact, they might even be afraid of you. And so what happened was the snake just, like, you know, like, whizzled away. So yeah, cobras might want to kill you, but majority of the part, yeah, a lot of these scary creatures are not scary. They're probably scared of you. Okay, I can see the owner there. I think she's off to cut the grass. My last one, number 3, is my love for adventure. Oh my gosh, and I have so much things to share. So when I say adventure, it doesn't necessarily mean adrenaline rush, right? I mean, you know, skydiving, bungee jumping, things like that. I do, however, I love diving. I love motorbikes. I used to ride a big bike, an adventure bike, and it was an 800cc. I wanted the 1200cc, but my friends advised me not to because I tend to really enjoy the speed. And so if you have this itchy feet for adventure, which is to like go and try different things, then I think that my kind of lifestyle would be very beneficial for you. You know, if something feels like it's not aligned, especially with your work right now, most probably you're not meant to be there. You know, I think sometimes the logic can only go so far. Oop, Eddie's calling. Let me let me get back to you. I don't know if you believe in law of attraction, but it's just so funny because I was just about to talk about Eddie and then he calls, or maybe it's just coincidence, but some might argue that there is no such thing as coincidence. I was just about to say my love for adventure, that's actually where I met Eddie. I was still in the corporate life when my instincts kicked in and it told me, you know what, just go. You want to go diving? Try it out. So I went online and I searched best place to go diving in the Philippines. I didn't even know that Philippines is one of the top places to go diving in the world. Of course, aside from places like Indonesia where you see the mola mola or the sunfishes, or in places like Galapagos, which is so expensive, but that's gonna be on my bucket list and I'm gonna take you with me once I tick that off. But I came over to Darwin here in Negros Oriental, and then I met Eddie, the love of my life, on a diving boat. And 5.5 years later, close to 6, we're still together. And you know, sometimes when you actually not sometimes, all the time when you listen to that inner voice talking to you, and if you listen to it, so many magical things happen, so many amazing things just begin to flourish and open up. And so back to number 3, which is my love for adventure. Eddie himself, or my love life itself, has been such an adventure on its own. Eddie is the type to want to explore and try new things, and you know, in terms of adventure for food, our palates are pretty similar and in many ways different. So that's an adventure in itself. He also enjoys motorbike rides. He also obviously enjoys diving because that's how we met. And he is very much the outdoorsy type too. So he likes to do some hiking. We even went camping. His father over in Scotland dropped us off an island. And we were the only 2 human beings on that tiny island. And I'm gonna try to say it, Aileanacloy. Aileanacloy? That's how it's pronounced, I think. It's a beautiful place. We pitched a tent and we went camping there and we made our food, but we brought a lot of, you know, things like you don't need to cook, like bread and wine, so we could live off that. It was just overnight. And it was just so magical. And so, you know, if you have this hunger for adventure, and sometimes people might think living an adventurous life is expensive because you are required to pay for a lot of things, right? It just depends on what kind of adventure you're looking for, and it'll be just the most magical thing. So while you're able to go, and while you're able to be, while you're still physically fit, my lifestyle definitely is very suitable for having an adventurous lifestyle. Also, I think the important thing I have to say is that my sleeping habits back in the city are not great. I think it's something about the circadian rhythm where I don't get enough sunlight or I don't get enough physical exercises. I'm not exposed enough to the earthy elements. Whereas living here, I mean, the sun is directly on us, the sea is right there. I can really smell the salty water. It's just, and then we just smelled some nice citrusy mango leaves. It's just so much earthy elements around us, and come 9:30 in the evening, I'm like close to crashing, and 10 o'clock I am flat dead like a log. I am in deep sleep, and that is rare. And for me, being the age that I am right now, sleep is luxury because it determines the quality of your life. the following day and the following week. So if I can get really good, delicious sleep, then, you know, I'm on top of the world, baby. So, love for adventure, curiosity, meeting people. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'm gonna end the video here. Let's have a little stroll before I say goodbye. Let me know what you think about some of the things or all the things that I've said. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. Oops, sorry about the glare. Let me know if you have, or if you've had similar dilemmas. Like, are you wanting to leave your work and try something different? And I'd love to hear from you. And I'm sending you great vibes, good vibes, and so much love and energy. And I see this beautiful flower I'm gonna share with you as we're gonna end this video. I think it looks like a hibiscus or a gumamela, but it doesn't look quite the same. It has the same features, but let me switch over the camera so you can see. Look how beautiful the place is, and the sea's right there. Check these beautiful flowers. They are incredible. I also know that you can make hibiscus tea, and I've tried it. It's delicious. But with that, I'm sending you so much love and light and good vibes, positive vibes from Gumamela and I. Ciao for now, and I'll see you in the next video.